They say APC gets 833,519 votes in the 75% plus 249,000 equals 1,082,519. Right? And that they say we make APC. Okay, SLPP they say 848,438 plus 249,000. That's the equals 1,097,438. And now they see the O2 get 249,000 equally. Why should that be? Hello, my family, Kabo. Welcome to Sheriff's Broadcast Network, the place where we bring Africa live to whosoever you day around the globe. Of course, if this is not your first time for join we want to take opportunity of this moment for officially welcome you to Sheriff's Broadcast Network. And of course, for assure you for say you don't make the right decision for kind of the right place, because now also we deal with the issues of the day, especially pertaining to Sierra Leone in West Africa. Of course, today we get for talk exclusively about the All People's Congress, one of the incumbent political party in Sierra Leone. Of course, now that's now we promised to last week in our broadcast for say today, now APC will get for talk about. And so plenty thing and they way don't happen. And of course, in democracy, this is not the beauty of democracy, wherein you know you get the opportunity for make you go vet, for make you go scrutinize your government. Not only that when you don't vote for people that they don't go in a position of authority, that now they get the upper hand, now they get the power for do whatever they want for do. But you as the citizen, you also get the right for scrutinize them, for vet them, for analyze them. And so now that's what they do now. So today we don't do them in the past, but of course we just try for refresh the memories again today. Now in this program today, I get a panel of two people there. Of course, one I get for talk to we exclusively from Maryland. Of course, I get for being Mr. Morlu Brewa. And of course, we also get for so the regional public relations officer of the Sierra Leone People's Party, now North America, when Mr. Desmond Pessima. I get for they will tune so today for talk on key issues then, where now things the way the APC be don't engage in. For let we analyze them thoroughly and able for you your own perspective on issues. And so now that we get for doing so today. And then of course we'll get for follow up on the new trend where they go on. The president began for give a speech ahead of the runoff election. Now Sierra Leone is slated for March 27, 2018. And of course, the other word don't read back for say some lawyers they don't try for going at the law court for put an injunction on the runoff election. We want for scrutinize that as well. And of course, waiting at the statement we come out from the National Electoral Commission. So all of that we get for talk about today. But of course, I get me pan and also. So my family, when I stick around and when I wait for we as we try for unfold the programs then for Unanaya. Once more, Mina Ibrahim Sheriff, of course, I come to now from studio number 8 based in Houston, Texas. Stick around with us.
Waiting the council. Yeah, man. Hold somebody. Make you hold somebody. I beg to make you hold judge somebody. Body body ya hold somebody. Tell them say you like them. Hold somebody. Make you hold somebody. I beg to make you hold judge somebody. Body body ya hold somebody. Tell them say you like them. Hold sister. No left. Hold brother. No left. Hold some side. Hold some side. Hold on some side. Hold on day. I tell yourself, Sammy get mind do. If you am go fast, good, commodity, good, commodity, good. You don't WhatsApp me, I don't WhatsApp you. I tell a I don't contact you. talk na phone take 2:30. Don't first in the morning I text back you. You not see me, I not see you. Pass picture, well today you don't see me. So hold me tight, make I hold you tight. You go do chaga down head, shoot on side. Hold somebody, make you hold 'em. Hold somebody, I beg you make you hold 'em. Judge somebody, body body ya hold 'em. Hold somebody, tell 'em say you like 'em. Hold somebody, make you hold 'em. Hold somebody, I beg you make you hold 'em. Judge somebody, body body ya hold 'em. Hold somebody, tell 'em say you like 'em. Hold 'em sister. No left hold 'em. Hold 'em, hold 'em brother. No left hold 'em. Hold 'em some side. Hold 'em some side. Hold 'em some side. Hold 'em day. Hold 'em some side. Hold 'em some side. Hold 'em some side. Hold 'em day. I tell you, Sammy them mind do. If you am go fast, good, commodity, good, commodity, commodity, good, commodity. Feel free, make we help we self. I beg no tight game, make we show we self. Yam speak to respect nef. I go auction me love than you expect self. Hold me, I hold you like husband and wife. As you taste me so past time make we left. As I be angle like chinch, nyak. If you slack and small at the pinch, nyagak mar. Yeah, left. Hold somebody, make you hold 'em. Hold somebody, I beg you make you hold 'em. Judge somebody, body body ya hold 'em. Hold somebody, tell 'em say you like 'em. Hold somebody, make you hold 'em. Hold somebody, I beg you make you hold 'em. Judge somebody, body body ya hold 'em. Hold somebody, tell 'em say you like 'em. Hold 'em sister. No left hold 'em. Hold 'em, hold 'em brother. No left hold 'em. Hold 'em some side. Hold 'em some side. Hold 'em some side. Hold 'em day.
For the love of sound.
All right, me family, that's now Akman Hollande. Of course, you know, say Akman and Maui can do classic song from Sierra Leone. I raise me hat up to Akman. Of course, right on my screen now, you see two gentlemen. Of course, on my left-hand side, or on your left-hand side, you will watch we right now. Now, no other person but Mr. Morlu Brewa. Of course, they talk to me today from Maryland Axis. And of course, on the right-hand side of him or of the screen, you see no other person but the Regional Public Relations Officer of the SLPP, Mr. Desmond Pessima. You know, today, certain things that they will get for talk on, so, you know, we're very important. Of course, when I be done, they see plenty of waiting APC as a political party, be done they do in Sierra Leone. And so it's necessary for us to put all of them things and into perspective. And so that make way we get forgetting two gentlemen and for talk to it today. Of course, let us start with Mr. You know, Desmond Pessima right now within at the big screen. Mr. Pessima, how you do, sir?
I do fine, Mr. Sheriff.
Right.
How are you?
Yeah, go ahead.
Some of them will watch me all over the world. Especially in Sierra Leone. I want to tell thank you for first of all tell una do. Then I want to pick Desmond. I really want to tell una thank you for where una participate in the democracy or elect with councillor them, for elect with parliamentarian them, and for elect, you know, with president on March 2017. It shows the kind of it shows that a lot of people, you know, really don't ready for take part in democracy. They're ready for fight, waiting they have them in the next 5 years. You know, they really want for the really story things that way they have in the country. It matters to the future, it matters to them between them welfare, and it matters to the generation where they. So the way people then go out, you know, and vote that particular day, you know, I just say it's ready to direction. The people of Sierra Leone are, you know, and as the moderator rightly said, a lot of things they will not happen as alone, you know, under the leadership of President Sumana and the APC. A lot of things don't happen where, you know, we'll therefore discuss today. We'll therefore talk about today, you know, and we'll therefore continue to inform with voters. We'll therefore continue to sensitize the people of Sierra Leone, you know. And luckily, the way the world don't advance now, nobody not going to take anybody for granted again. Nobody not going to lie from, you know, everything is clear. If you do good, you know, people that not say yes, this person don't do good, don't renew a mandate. You know, but if you don't do well, of course, the people then go exercise the right, you know, not for renew the mandate. So a lot of things will get for discuss now today. You know, we're ready for answer some questions and the moderator propose to it. Once again, I'm 15 Desmond Pessima, and I'm for thank you for participating in the democracy of Sierra Leone.
All right, that's Mr. Desmond Pessima, of course, a politician, seasoned politician, of course. Next, we get Mr. Morlu Brewa. Of course, Morlu Brewa, they talk to me today from Maryland. Mr. Brewa, you want to say hi to Famudem and do your introduction, sir?
Famudem, do me Morlu Brewa. I talk to her today from Maryland. 10 messages to her. Tell her thank you for the photo on our votes, and also the preparation on our day bank for votes next week by the grace of God. Although with the hearing say some people don't take legal action against NEC so that they not go continue with the runoff, but we pray say it will take place because we are sick and tired of this APC government. We need them out. We need change, you know, and get for good. It is time for them to leave. Una be steadfast, and nobody not intimidate una not fend palava, but una defend herself. It's about time. We don't suffer too much in our country, and the suffering way the government they lavish on we in other country that they do with impunity. Una get way to kick them out through the ballot box. We don't see preamble recently, and it will continue.
All right.
Listen to we.
Right. Of course, that now, Mr. Brewa, of course, you get for hearing from a lot in this program today. So wait till we get for doing inside this program today, me fam with them. We get, you know, some videos that we'll get for show now. And of course, we'll hold discussion on each one of them videos. Them videos, then they depict some of the things that we don't happen on the watch of the APC. And during this election, we don't pass. You know, we get for talk about some of them things. Then they, you know, for let we able for really analyze and thoroughly for to your own understanding. And of course, you know, say at the end of the program today, we'll go open the lines for let yourself go calling and for say anything what you want for say. So for now, we want for me to stick around as we continue for unfold the program. Stick around with us.
Happening now in Bowtown at the new stadium. The local time now exactly 7:30 when the retired brigadier don't begin to talk to the people of Bow.
Because we are now accompanying among this political journey from when I started, we are there with me, we are going to support me, and today we are making proud. been breezing in and out of Sierra Leone, looking for greener pastures in other places, I, Samura Kamara, have stayed on for the longest period, shaping policies, negotiating with the international community, representing and making the case for a better Sierra Leone.
All right, and so me from with them, we'll continue with the program right now. What we'll get for Dunaya, so just like I would don't tell when plenty things that don't happen. But today we get for start with a video where actually an audio will come up from the BBC Focus on Africa. You know, when I listen to that audio, I feel bad so much. We'll say BBC Focus on Africa and broadcasters them. Then they talk say it says Sierra Leone now being the Athens of West Africa. Athens of West Africa. The people that be smart there. Education was high up there. The people were so intelligent. They say, but it look like I say that intelligence don't go down the drain. It don't go down the drain. They don't know if now because of the civil war. They don't know if now waiting happen. Because, you know, for say hold on all election, about 2 million plus people that they don't register, they don't vote for this election. It take we 1 week for them to announce the result. And even the result won't announce the numbers they all count with, it not they match. So they say we get problem with our mathematics. So we'll get for listening to that video, and then of course Desmond and Morlu go talk with me on how waiting and think about that. And of course, I know say you wait to watch, you also get your own views on that. So stick around and watch that video.
From B.
Kibaki Mark.
Yes, Olushambles.
I'm very worried about Sierra Leone.
Oh, yes.
Freetown used to be the center of African learning, the Athens of our continent, the Oxbridge of West Africa. But no more. Standards have clearly fallen drastically.
That might be because of the last civil war. Schools closed, you know.
Sierra Leoneans can scarcely read or write. And as for their arithmetic, they just don't seem to be able to add up anymore.
Really?
How else can you explain the incredible length of time it took to count the votes in this month's elections?
How long?
More than a week. How long does it take you to count to 10, Kibaki Mad?
Depends how slowly I count.
Okay, well, let's time you. Go nice and slowly.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
8 seconds. So, okay, let's do some calculations. You on your own would count 48 votes every minute, which means 2,800 every hour. And if you were to work 8 hours a day with half an hour off for lunch, 15 minutes for tea, 3 toilet breaks of 5 minutes, maybe 7, you'd manage to get through 20,160 ballot papers a day, or getting on for 142,000 in a week. Now, I'm about twice as quick as you. So, between us, with a little help from the first ladies and our children and grandchildren, we could have counted all the 2 million votes cast in Sierra Leone's elections quicker than the hundreds and hundreds of Sierra Leone election officials hired to do the job. So, either mathematical standards have drastically fallen, or Sierra Leoneans are very, very lazy, or they take far too many toilet breaks.
Democracy cannot be rushed, Olushambles. It's important that everything is done properly. Otherwise, the result would be disputed.
Well, all I can say is, now that they're going to have a runoff, they'd better start counting now. Otherwise, Sierra Leone might have to wait till 2019 for the result.
But they can't start counting now.
Why not?
Because they haven't voted yet.
Does that matter, Kibaki Mad?
I think so, Olushambles. The general idea of elections is that people put their cross against the party of their choice and the presidential candidate of their choice. And then the votes are counted.
Kibaki Mad. For the past 50 years, Sierra Leone has been run by the same two political parties. SLPP. The SLPP.
All right, and so now that's not the audio way we get from the BBC. Of course, kind of in the provoke how we educational standard don't go down, how we lazy, now that make way, election take place, it take we 1 week for counts, the votes them. So all the incident is so, make I just bring in Mr. Desmond Pessima, how you feel as a Sierra Leonean first, and secondly, as a member of one of the oldest political party now in Sierra Leone, how you feel about this kind of audio where they come up from an international media house like a BBC? What do you think about
that? Of course, the waiting we listen to now is satire work, and but let's really be featured, and then kind of with, on a worldwide, network. If really not anybody, like practically Sierra Leonean, listen and see, BBC to make mockery, you go feel good, I'm waiting and say, from two perspectives. One, to take up from the literary point of view, they really try for speak to the structure. They really speak into how governments interfere process where governments enhance for day. We make a lot of where we turn out to be true. We all see how long it takes the national electoral for bring out the results. We see the manner in the results. I think the way it is do, they really try to speak into that. So well, the manner in which the result they come, or the some of the evidence where the result, they don't want to come out plain and say, something happened. Either government handed it, or either the National Electoral Commission, the staff, they're not competent. These are some of the way actually that move to that will do the type of program. Because we remember in 2007, all right, where Christian Pop was the chief electoral commission. We got to see that back. Even in 1990, where we get the fourth democratic election, we see how fast the results they come. Will not be the guy 25%, 50%, but this time, that's the commission. There's so much pressure, pressure, I would say, from the government, or from people them, where one for say the elections go in their favor, which is not good. On the let's look at what in BBC them do, practically as how they, Sierra Leone are one country where, before this time, we get very, very smart people who they do very well in maths and science. Not until after 2007, where after 2007, we see a lot of changes into the educational system. We get SS4, where there was no reason for them to get SS4. Teachers then begin without salary. So university students, when students then they on campus, then at the time of study, then they go for read. But if you say students are not for them, that is a huge problem.
Right. So yeah, Desmond, yeah, definitely we understand that. And when we say schools then they close, even because of election, or then they lock all schools, all universities, that means the situation is not normal. Anyway, and so bringing in we own brother, Mr. Morlu Brewa. Morlu, like when they listen to an audio like that one day, where then they provoke we. This is not the whole of Africa and beyond. Now then they listen to this kind of audio from the BBC, whether they provoke we for say we not sabi with maths anymore, with educational standard they go down. I don't say that something that they try for portray for say there was kind of malpractices but they go on. But as a Sierra Leonean, how you feel personally, hearing this kind of audio?
Honestly, very, very sad. But me not realist. Why it was surprised me? This government not place any premium for academics. We get a minister of education. We during in early days as minister, one small journalist speaking, embarrassed and a new building with regards to his speaking ability. This is not the person where the police will make free of education. Then they put one premium to academics in our country. The academics that don't go down the drain. When President Kababi there, we say go thank you. To be honest with you, we get good grades them. The standard be there way up there, but from where them fellow take over. And don't get me wrong, you have very, very fine guys within the APC party, who are academics there, academicians there. But the fact that they ignore the country in situation in terms of education, it beats me. APC they get right for Mimikwi. What are African countries they get right for Mimikwi and for Mimikwi? Because now the cause. We get very good people there. We get friends in other countries. We're picking them one for land book for the opportunity. Nobody, they don't really get the opportunity. Let's inform our president. It's education a privilege, not a right. That is the mindset of APC when it comes to education. As far as they're concerned, privilege. And because of privilege, they take the country money and send them picking them abroad for study. Then girlfriend them, then nieces them, then nephews, give them scholarships and spend more money for them for them come out of the country. So we young families, then where they live, will go through the hazardous academic system with it. It's unfair. Then people are not getting one respect for education of our country. So the people are not right for laugh with, my brother. They're right.
I know, definitely. I know what's when they talk. And so next, let's talk about another video. Interview day where we've been giving also to the chairman of the National Electoral Commission, when Mohammed Infa Ali Conte. We ask her specifically about how prepared is the National Electoral Commission for me then go fet any voter fraud or voting fraud will go take place or electoral fraud will go take place during these elections. It tell we categorically for say then get mechanisms in place, then get all the standards in place for able for fet any kind of practice, any kind of fraud where they in place. And for we listen to that video and then we analyze them based on the activities that will take place in the past election and even waiting all with the area now in this election coming. So let me watch that video there quickly. Voter ID cards. We don't get plenty complaints then from people them way they go get an ID cards, they will get family abroad, then they send pictures of some of the ID cards them. The demographic information on some of their ID cards them they're completely out of place. Like we can see woman in picture, then we see man named Pada Umande in picture, or we can see two people then with two different faces, but then they carry the same name. Or we can see like then can say Albert Academy Village, and so people that don't they get concerns about that. Your office we don't they get any concerns like those, and if yes, what are some of the plans then for solve them problem and day before elections?
Well, Ibrahim, I want to preface this for say yes, indeed, with the voter ID card, indeed we get a few problems. So I want for let family out there know say the problems then really will get with voter ID card then very few. We get over 3.1 million people that will register, and honestly, the problems with the card not even reach 1%. I tell you that day, as a patriotic Sierra Leonean, as a true Sierra Leonean. But at the background, you get people and they will want for derail the electoral process. Which I mean, derail the electoral process. They not be one let the elections be, and they not for let we succeed. So then they go all out. We get with the tractors, with the tracks by all means for destroy we. Now what they do now, photoshopping. Some of them they do. When they get their ID card, correct one, then they go take another person in face, then put and then send on the internet, or let it look like say problems they do with the ID card. Right? If you look at, I'm sure one day said that one day where the person wear spectacles, the They say snap them. No, it's not possible. Where would they snap? Nobody wear special coat. And they also wear particular. Right? We again will not allow that people with the snap possible they wear particular. These are the problem. There are people that want for destroy it.
Okay. All right, and so Mifamure, that's Mohammed Infa Ali Conte. Of course, you know, they talk on that issue of a voter ID card, wherein people that be the duplicate ID cards, them wearing, you know, people that be the Photoshop wearing, you know, the whole question was centered around the fact that the National Electoral Commission was equipped enough with logistics, with mechanisms for making them able to forfeit any amount of fraud in case it happened during this election. So Desmond, you feel say that talk where the National Electoral Commission have been talk, Infa Ali Conte, able for the National Electoral Commission able for live up to that standard they for say they be able for, you know, control everything during this the past election?
Certainly not, you know, because everything play out, you know, where the just concluded, you know, election. You know, we get areas of voter fraud, you know, areas of ballot copy, you know, especially in the north, you know, so that tells you, you know, the Electoral Commission, you know, not gets enough logistics, or even if they get enough logistics, you know, other partners then will be supposed to partner with the Electoral Commission, you know, for ensure say waiting on the ballot boxes, now waiting the people of Sierra Leone put there, not to waiting for the teacher one party, especially the we want to win the election at all costs. We want to continue for suppress people here. We want to continue to suppress the rights of the ordinary citizens they want to let it be. You know, they see intimidation started. When they see the police, they storm, they pull press, police, police, they go, they stop them, then they obstruct the process. I mean, come on. The police is supposed to be a partner, you know, for court. The police is supposed to be a partner with the ensure but now the Electoral Commission, you know, not get the support of the police.
Right.
It's like against the commission, you know. So maybe it's until the government, you know, especially the police force, you know, really partner with the neck very, very well. You know, justice has to make room. Because everything I will continue to obtain our power at all. And as I begin to say, you don't need to engage in voter fraud. You don't need for the vote of ballot power. All you need to do now for provide things and for the people, provide this electricity, provide food. Let them only say yes. Let me begin to go on a bit. Yeah, be equal. You know, when them basic things, oh, get food, oh, get basic water for the people. They educate to get access to the privilege. But because the APC don't fail the country, all the areas there, they want for them at all. And the people of Sierra Leone are really wise up this time around. You know, so may the country for appeal to Sierra Leone people. We are not rely on NEC, say NEC go protect and vote them. We are not rely on the police, say the police will protect and vote them. We will not be vigilant, we will not protect and vote them. Because we are not, if the boy, we will not go support. If the better, we will enjoy it. So we are not allowing few politicians and greedy politicians, you know, go track for our right and continue for oppressing us. So I believe that, you know, NEC as the logistics, but even if they get them, so they don't get the different state authorities for working them from there and trusting the people and vote.
Right, of course. So according to you, the logistics and they lack the logistics, of course. So waiting the chairman being talk, not able for meet that standard. Of course, that don't make they bring in Mr. Brewa for let we talk on this issue. You know, because me, I'm not in Lekwe. If they talk about change in Sierra Leone. And Mr. Brewa, go on for me articulate yourself to that message of change by this question. If we try for talk about change, now then checks and balances there, so we can forget. Wherein, if we don't can interview you before election, we don't ask you all the questions there, so pertaining to your preparations to, you know, to champion the activity we get for choose the next leadership of the country, and you don't talk something when not can be reality, when not based on lies. then I don't know how the country will rely on you in the future for any decision, critical decision making, like being the chairman of a National Electoral Commission. Mr. Morlu Brewa, what do you say about that?
Well, unfortunately, we just have to deal with Ufa Ali. It just have to be honest with it. Get confident in himself, and also make sure his staff then get confident, because without confidence, you're not going to really focus on any venture we really undertake. Undue pressure, APC they don't want to go. They don't want to leave because of the way they don't do country and the way that the people that they suffer. But then they pressurize them out. Instead of their loves in Ufali, don't listen to them. They have nothing to do with you. Nothing they don't get to do with you. When APC have lost this election, nothing to do. Just do it right with your conscience. You're not godly person, you pray. Not listen to them, not come to them. They will pressurize you. It's about change. The people want change. You say when they are I sure say you want for certain things and the way you don't get, like you say, lesson learned, you will get for change later on the neck. Lapses them. Just like how the people that want change. And this change here, then go get them. They will have it through the ballot box. And now you are the supervisor and custodian of the election system in that country. We call on you. We don't want disaster for that country. We don't want to let you do anything. We could jeopardize the livelihood of the lives of the people in that country. Please, we plead on you. Don't beg, we beg you. But when they talk to you, you're not waiting for you. Do the right thing. The international community, the battery, people all over this world, their eyes day on Sierra Leone. Forget about any undue pressure we get from APC. They don't want to go because if they do right, they're not for pressure. Right? Look the amount of time you take for calling all them. It's ridiculous, to be honest with you. So just refocus. Rebuild your confidence. Talk to your staff. Assure them of security. The police in our country at this point, from way back, are left and let's take over. Now, porous police together. We have fine police. Don't get me wrong. I have a very good relationship with most of them. But you get some the way, sorry for saying, I don't want to use that word. We actually they don't live up to the professional standards. It's a force for good, but then we don't see that they are biased. It was not like that in 2007. It was a level playing field for everybody. So come on, let it be like that. Me at the appeal to the IG, be unbiased. I don't know what is your mindset, what is your position with regards to, how the police and the behavior and which are the actions that we need to take, or take action then for the safety of election materials, the voting agents, the polling agents, and during the election and during the counting. Please, these are the only two women they appeal to, Ufa Ali and the IG. Let there be some sanity. And let everybody go vote for who that you want. Get the change over in another country. We want change today. Right.
Of course, that's now Mr. Morlu Brewa. Of course, now the thing that one day we myself not able to understand, wherein the 1991 Constitution and the Sierra Leone Elections Act don't give all the powers to the National Electoral Commission, and especially to the chairman of the National Electoral Commission, Mohammed Infa Ali Conte. They don't give all the powers. Even the president now not get any control over what they do. Now you get the powers for do everything. But when something happen, I see a picture of him where they go to one meeting where the president in all twist, he ask him for some map earlier before him. I don't know what they be discussed in that meeting. Whether it be they tell him for change things in that map. But anyway, we'll go find way for discuss down the later. But the next video what they can see now still based on the National Electoral Commission, we begin for ask him also a question about the international observers and the essence of the international observers and presence in the country. And so whilst they're in the country, they are both observing our elections and also observing us as a people or as a country. Then they observe how they behave, how they do things then. So on election day, where the police then show up na Julius Madabio in house, you know, that's not been make the country look good. In fact, now a foreigner, when I been the former president of Ghana, now I began for intervene in the former president of Nigeria, Goodluck Jonathan and Mahama. Now then two began for intervene for made them able for stop that whole thing there. Now it been look so shameful that a Sierra Leone will not be able to solve that problem. But anyway, let's watch the video and see exactly waiting at the talk about how Mfali Conte began for respond to that question there, and then we'll move on from there. Stick around. So, Mr. Conte, let we talk about the observers. Then we get for observe the Sierra Leonean election, because people then still, even though then they still say the National Electoral Commission, they do a very good job in preparation to the 2018 elections, but people then get serious issue with whether the elections will not be manipulated by the incumbent government. And so they want to know if countries then they wait on register already right now for medical observe the elections, countries, organizations around the world. Do you have any idea of that?
Yes, because election observation is a feature of free, fair, transparent, credible election. The National Electoral Commission does write to various organizations at the world, the European Union, European Union, etc., ECOWAS, the African Union, and other organizations, embassies, inviting them for when they come observe the election. And so they don't come, they don't send missions. That's how they do their own preparation. So then besides that, we also get civil society organizations, where they call like the National Elections Watch. That's how they for observe all the elections. Now every polling station. In fact, really, then they do a very good job in observing elections. So they're ready for both national organizations and external international organizations for can observe the election.
Process, about letting the will of the people happen. Julius Madabio, when I was presidential flag bearer, on the day of in office, they tally the results, which is common for every man aspirant to tally you vote for a cancer. All this the calculated plan by the AP, for disrupting process, or for create an unrest at the country, so there will be a halt in the election process, because how on earth for good sake you get an analog system of vote tally? This is not digital, all right? Now by hand and the counting thing, and how somebody they go hack into a system when an analog, you cannot hack into an analog system. So these are all plans, calculated by the APC for suppress people in front time. So this has to stop. International observer, the Commonwealth International Observer Group, then at the country, it is so shameful, for make a whole this, Inspector General will say they will not get a meeting, that man can hack, then former Kenyan president, He said, oh, I asked this man, the man said, the system is so local to the point that nobody will hack it. You know, so it's shameful on the part of Sierra Leone. And we forget the responsible government. Because we all know, say, all the things the APC they do for intimidate, for make them go out and vote, or for create some kind of fear. You know, let me not forget, say, who of them they come out, say, you know, power extending vote. You know, so we know all the things there. You know, we know all the things there for it to happen. You know, that was back up on, you know, even the whole idea of, you know, putting ban, you know, on vehicles, you get tax, you come on. Now that's countries like that. You know, who's that with this? Election like any other thing, everybody will go they go about, you know, our business. We don't want to go sell, you go sell, you know, we don't want to go hospital, rather for go doing business and go vote. They don't need for the public holiday for that. They don't need for me to, let's say, the country then and state imagine. But all time is to put the people of Sierra Leone in a position where they're not going to exercise the franchise. But believe me, come March 27, we hope say all the court process where they go on, everything will end. You know, and
all right.
Then the election will happen. And the people of Sierra Leone don't determine in office enough. This time around, ready for them of APC. You know, so we really appeal to the I want to appeal to the present government for really get the hand of the election process. They don't have everything to parliament. You know, this pressure over the pressure over the citizens, all not come. You know, because if you as a government, you may serve the people educationally, you provide for healthcare, to make, you know, jobs available for them, you know, make life at least comfortable for the people there. Believe me, you get the mandate. You don't need for it.
Right, and so definitely now that's what they see. I mean, there are plenty of people that they talk say these are the last days of the APC, and so now this will tell people that for say APC is not on record for ever organize a democratic elections. Is say the elections are free, fair, transparent, and credible, and they hand over to, you know, somebody who will win that election. They have never done it from 1961 to now. So I don't know why people that they expect say this one will go without intimidations and violence. But anyway, let me bring in Mr. Morlu. But before they bring in Mr. Morlu, I want to bring you in on this next video when Dr. Samura Kamara, the presidential candidate of the APC, they talk about the economy of Sierra Leone. And the economy where they talk about now specifically the fact that, you know, if you don't dey around with money business for all these years, for over 20-30 years, it don't dey around with money business, you know, and still as a country we continue for at the bottom of the Human Development Index. We are the one of the poorest countries in the world. And so we want for listen to what they say and then we analyze them properly. So stick around as we bring that video to you as well.
I would not say so, because the Sierra Leone economy is not a big economy. At the time I was in finance, you were talking about a total budget of a little over $300 million, which an ordinary footballer, I'm sure one of your footballers there can just boast of. Now, when you have that type of budget, 50% of which is salaries, wages and salaries to the public sector, and then you have a sizable amount for on health, you have a good amount for defense and security. So there was very little amount left for the development dimension of the budget. I can tell you one example. At one stage, I thought we did not have more than $30 million just for economic development projects. To build one road alone, 1 kilometer of a road costs you nearly $1 million. To have 1 kilowatt of electricity costs you nearly $1 million. So if you have $30 million on the development budget, how much can you do? So with or without IMF programs, I think the economy was small. We did not perhaps put a lot of emphasis in resource mobilization, internal resource mobilization. But luckily for us, all of that is changing. We are now exploiting our resources much better.
All right, and so that's now, Dr. Samura Kamara, they talk on the economy. One, it don't accept, say, Salon gets small budget, small money, but we know the CM, so as based on how then they behave, then we're in a position of authority. The big motorcar, the way then they drive, the lavish life, then where then they live. And also, it don't talk, say, the APC government, we don't pay attention to the internal resource mobilization. That now for build up on the capacity of the country, either human capacity or other capacities them. Instead, don't talk that one day. But the main thing is, Dr. Samura Kamara has been around the economy, the finances, the money where the country get for all these years, and will continue to be poor. So, in my opinion, either it not be know how for advise the former presidents them on which policies then therefore adopt for able to move this country in a good economic direction, or it be no, but with impunity just be they ignore the importance of it. So, Morlu, what do you think about that?
Mr. Sheriff, these guys are no good managers. They don't sabi manage. Unfortunately, the actions of a failed government, that goes small bit back to the fact that they would surround retired Brigadier Fatima Bio in house during the election. That now the action of a failed government. They don't say they are about to go. The populace is about to drive them out of town. That's what they do. Then they go back to chaos. Then they go back to intimidation and blatant disregard for the rule of law. And it's going right now, G3. It knows that it go. Because when it go, none of us say the afraid SLPP. Now the backlash from EU APC brother, waiting and get to do with them. Now it's afraid. That don't make it the type of paper it. So, coming back to Dr. Kamara, Samura Kamara, then guys with the fail with brother.
Right.
When you grab them, open the hot stock, say they don't make road. When I don't make road. When ranking can happen to what happen to the road then? Thank God ranking can. When I tell you the people say now cosmetic roads and they make. How you go make road? You don't get proper drainage system in place, especially in the capital. What's kind of nonsense stuff? When I don't make road, when I don't wait till the first development in the country, when I don't develop the country. Roads, that's not one. Two, adequate and affordable electricity. The same for water supply. They attract industry. We don't have those in Sierra Leone. Even the one where the post of haphazard things and in the Giwi, when they grab and say they don't make road. Look how the economy is. Not to so back about left that economy there. Roads and buildings without a very good economy, a very strong economy, it's nothing, my dear brother. It's nothing. We don't need Samura Kamara and again. They don't serve with too much, with so much lapses. We don't need them defaults there anymore. Let them go. Let them go. Then they drive all the big cars like you mentioned. Then they waste money. People then they suffer. Look, just check the cost of living in the country. The cost of rent, basic food stuff, basic things that people are supposed to enjoy. You want to go work during the day, or go teach during the day. You come back to the house, you get cold water and you host for drink. You get more TV where you go sit down, you relax, you watch with your family. You able to eat good food. Those are the basic things that the people of that country are asking for. You cannot provide those things for them, and you tell us that you've made roads, you don't construct road then. Can nonsense that one.
I know. That's what you want for chime in a little bit?
Let Samura go. Yes. Let Samura let them go. They don't serve for 10 years. They don't publish a lot of bad things on that country for 10 years. Let them go.
Ibrahim, I just want to add.
Yes. Go ahead.
It's the worst thing that ever happened to Sierra Leone. Now, the worst thing that ever happened to Malone. Alright? Because this now the man, under his leadership, in charge of finances, Salone broke. The government campaign tell the people of Salone say, we don't get money, nothing, no dey, Salone no get, nothing. You know, then waiting and they put men and say, austerity measures. And I believe Sumana Camara was the architect of all this. You know, then put fear price. That subsidy government will put from here. We will make those places to begin able to catch up from St. John. You know, they able to go, they able to catch up from PZ, you know, to Old Road, or from PZ to New Road, or they able to go Congo Cross. Then put the subsidy where government they put and the fuel. We will make internal goods and then goods and what they transfer from one town to the other, from one section of this town to other. People they go they pull up. And waiting the transporters they ace them. And we don't have been trying to force what they suffer for that. Now the people that ordinary Sierra Leone man, you know. So these are the kind of forces we want to let come from leader. No.
Right. So Desmond, talking on the issue of austerity measures. You know, the next video is about that, and this is from Mohammed Kameremba Mansaray. And now you get for talk on this one. Mohammed Kameremba Mansaray gets serious issue. I mean, regardless of the fact that Mohammed Kameremba Mansaray not able to make the numbers, then for go to a runoff or for the presidency. But this is one man that I respect. You know, for the grounds that we stand on. He stand on principles, ground them. And in a be one man where be they try for tell the APC for say everything whatever they do na be a sham. Like that austerity measure where they introduce. Now the same time where the president charter a whole plane. He put more than 50 people there inside, bring them come to New York. The plane park na airport. They wait for them. Whilst then at New York, then big time hotel them. They pay all man per diem. Whilst our people are suffering in the country. And during the time where people that they suffer in the country, the poda, the taxi, the Okada, they all don't raise the prices because fuel price don't go up. So now they have don't raise the transportation. So now when you go, instead of 1,000, they raise them to 1,500. So when you go give them 2,000, for me then give you change, they not they give you that, then run with the motorcar or the Okada, then go. Then halala begin for them at the country. So let us look at waiting Mohammed Kameremba Mansaray talk about that issue there. Then of course we can't talk about them. Stick around.
Just all of a sudden, in fact, waiting cow went in there when the president in September or so, a cow with over 50 entourage in Aminaya, we say they spend over $1 million US. A chacha one old plane, we can sit down in New York for a couple of days for wait for until the convention done or and I return back with the plane. So those are the kind of things we maybe call on this president and the government say that they misuse we country, we economy, and that make now not too long, then go begin to say, oh, we cut down on travels, we do this. This, like I tell you, this is all baloney. This is all a way where they want fool the people of this country. But when me are the voice of the voiceless in that country, I can always come for tell people in the truth. So this austerity measures, like way you act, so it's not just, it's just a drama, then just the act. What's in this APC good at? Now for act. Right now, you see the ministers and they travel, they went to share them for take pictures and send them on social media, then they go do this, and then just the act, then just the launch. What's in the launch? 9 years, we know they see nothing.
Right. So Desmond, that now Mohammed Kameremba Mansaray exactly articulating on this issue of the austerity measures. You know, after they don't go spend all day, they don't lavish the money, then they come back to the country, they say austerity measures for able for fake the people there. What do you go say about that?
Mr. Ibrahim Sheriff, APC government where I go drive as one of development. They're stubborn, they don't want the people of Sierra Leone to that stage of being developed, or at least moving towards development. You know, remember, the Auditor General give them a whole list of recommendations how to cut down on expenses, how to put them in place to make sure the government is able to have a food. But it's not. This time, government is not responsible. And they want another 5 years. or take the people of Sierra Leone down the drain further? No. You know, you don't come, you don't talk to I hard up and get money. I not get money. Then they see you the drive past Utuka. You know, the same government they not get money. Ministers they still they give them voucher man for go take gas and fuel station. You know, on top of that, we see them when they come the UN and New York, as you rightly mentioned. A lot of them came. How can you come over 50-man delegation on UN summit? What's in the country? What's in the country? Explain and go back to the people and say, oh, well, this will go, this will land. All that, you know, now a government where, as I say, not responsible, they don't care about themselves. They don't care about average California. They care about themselves, they care about them, they care about beginning, they care about weapons, but not for the people of Sierra Leone who don't come to them. You know? So, hey, the people of Sierra Leone are very wisdom. Social media, thank God for social media, you know, nothing they hide again. Anything inside that, the people of Sierra Leone they see. And guess what? Then they use that for those right away. And come 27, 2018, the people of Sierra Leone are going to, with a loud voice, they're going to go out there and give the Sumana people because they're tired. They're tired for living under the oppression of APC. You know, this is not ready for moving before, and yet they are taking the back.
Right.
So it is fortunate that the people that don't have to go through what they go through. So, but believe me, hope is on the way. All not lost under the leadership of the Military Brigadier life, you know, will shine back. Sierra Leone will in past glory in terms of education. We will regain with past glory in terms of great infrastructure. You know, don't we look waiting down there around the money. Then he said we don't hard up. So I don't know get nothing right now. Waiting APC will put up and say this na government. No, nothing. Everything na aid from na trust from the Chinese government. They don't mortgage the country to China. They don't come full road and put up. You know, or continue to press the people to eh? God knows how many year contract they signed for them to them. We don't get anything.
Right. Well, you know, say Desmond, then they wait when the next government can then get for review all then they. But just like how you talk, that whole austerity measure was a sham. But anyway, next let's talk to Mr. Morlu about some kind, you know, information we'll see today, a press release from the Coalition for Change, when I see for see, where Alhaji Sumana and Aide Hedam, for say they don't decide, say they're not a pledge on support to any political party, APC, SLPP parties runoff, right? But now, some of we they begin to wonder as to the time where APC, they don't expel Sumana from the party. Then your party constitution don't talk say when you expel a member from the party, that member they get 30 days for may appeal in case. They're not getting that time they for may appeal the case. Then the president go ahead and sack him based on that in suspension or expulsion from the party. Then the whole world, the Sierra Leoneans all over the world, they rally behind Alhaji Sumana demonstrations. They all over the world. Whosoever Sierra Leoneans and they, not to because they be like Sumana, but because they be one for let the country uphold the values of democracy and the constitution. So for make us see a press release will come up from the C4C, they talk say they're not they pledge any allegiance to any political party. It's like you want foot then at APC, then you want foot then at SLPP, because you have to make a decision between these two, you know. But for let in one foot even then at the APC is something that I'm questioning. But anyway, let's see a video where we see this past week where Victor Bokarifo, when in take the position where they sack Alhaji Sumana from clandestinely and unilaterally by the president where appoint him. So now in the talk say, oh, they're ready for talk to Sumana. Then the Secretary General of the APC, when Alhaji Fode Yansane, instead they blast for, you know, Sumana and Alondo. Let us see them video, then we'll talk on it. Stick around.
And the bogus man also, Sumana is talking in America, telling the world that he decided not to accept the president's urge for more time. That is why he was cashier out. When we removed him from the party and he was kicked out of government, he never said that. These are the type of people. The man has been adult man, we make a running mate. Running mate. With all the promises he had, he thought would support him. Since the day he became vice president, he had thought of nothing other than to grab power. The man is talking that he's not corrupt. The man is saying that he is civilized. The day we took power, his first progressive step was to humiliate all the paramount chiefs. He made them the dog and wrong.
All right. So that's now the Secretary General of the APC, Alhaji Fode Yansane. Now in they go in for Alhaji Sumana. Say the man a hard up man. The man not begin nothing. Where they make a running mate. Where they turn we then gain the power. The first thing we do a molest all the paramount chiefs them, make them lay down on the ground. Plenty other talks them. So when they see Alhaji Sumana, not they stand clean for talk say, you know what thing? Based on everything I don't do, and based on the fact I don't go fet na ECOWAS when they don't give me the right, I stand on this issue. But for say another declare for anybody means that you are in both areas. But anyway, Mr. Brewa, what do you say about this?
Well, you know, before I even touch on that one, I keep referring to late President Ahmed Tijan Kashaba as a reference point. That talks quick on this UN thing with the President Kurma can come with 10 million people there. When Pakaba did it, and your understanding was when Scope or whoever they put together the list for Ghana UN, when they go here, it is sit down with that person, it go now, just like a line item from number 1 to the bottom. This person, waiting in position, waiting in technical ability, where you go able to, you know, for bring come to the table based on which we go to UN. If that person is not able to, let's say, this person is actually essential, Akabad is scratching him. They said he can scratch him, you know. Now that president did and this body, but no, what the honest they do. Now a way for pay back in royally said. They get fat by DM, come and Ghana, America, travel with them, girlfriend them, with them, family them. No, that is it. All at the benefit of the people coming back to see for see. You know, I like this Sumana also I get respect for. Just like I get respect for Dr. Pandey Keller. Sumana met him twice on a personal level because somebody they was let me go to rap. Then also in my capacity as a defeat funded project consultant attached to the police department as alone for 8 years, I always been work with the vice president when I be chairman police commission because I always be chairman police commission. So I met, just like I meet Padera, I met with Sumana probably 3 or 4 times. You know, so I respect her, an intelligent guy. But this decision we make, I'm a little bit disappointed in him. But again, I respect him and his opinion. Hopefully, the same line of action we NGC take and we insert on the majority of the followers and the voters there. Now then 2 parties then they no go with that decision there. Some no say if APC come back to power, he could now in depth warrant 85. You don't know that.
You don't know that.
You don't know that.
Right.
To play with APC like that, you know, you cannot decide. And I'll listen to Charles Maga in audio. I think today I'll listen to him about where you don't want to talk energy, you don't want to take side. It's just like say they support them. We want change. But if MGC and COC don't have about change, or the kind of change that the people wanted is not what you were asking for. That is for you to be in governance, for you to be the president. You don't get them fine. We're not glad for that, but it don't happen. But there is one particular change that you can lavish on the populace of Sierra Leone, on the people of Sierra Leone, and that change is kick APC out. Now that change we all want at this point. We all that change we want for kick APC out. So why we not just put all hands on deck and do that? But for just get a nonchalant attitude and say, oh, we are the support of God. Okay, that's well and done, but we know by the grace of God, based on waiting APC don't do in that country day, this election, this runoff with the people then will keep APC out. You know, talking about the brother Victor Fogo, the tribe of leader of APC, you know, for APC, I don't make a bid, he imagine say the first lady and a certain vice president at that time, they all two come on a Kono district. Then the president will marry the first lady and I command and Sumana strangle development in a Kono district. You can imagine that? How wicked somebody can be. Your wife, you begin their mama, you command their hometown because of certain things, of certain reasons unknown to us, the country. You strangle, you stifle development for good Kono. Then now all of a sudden now one Kono man vote. Kono man not follow. I'm a brewer. And from what I understand, me long time heritage from Jagbe Matiama. Just happen to say great grandparents done at Brahman Chief. We Konos are not fools. Kono man are not fools. We go remember una back during the run up. Kono man will remember una go there during, I think it was a by-election, when I go telling people then when I go threatening them, don't vote for una which then now una want to take all of a sudden and use brother, you cannot make a decision as to not supporting it. Come on, man. I'm not able to forget that.
I know. Kind of very
difficult. Show them. You know, Kono will show them.
Right. Yes, that's right.
I just want to add a little bit. This, you know, let me take this election is really not about Sumana. It's not about Anna Juncker. It's not about Sumana. It's not about but it's about the people of
the country.
You know, let me reflect. You know, all the two they talk, them video them they play. Now we look at them and see waiting they inside the for we get a government where they use their own constitution, they play with anyone. You know, as long as they benefit the president, as long as they benefit the minister, then they use that anyhow. Then we, the Sierra Leone people, then don't have a vote. Can you imagine?
Right.
We have a government, APC-led government, where blatantly they violate the constitution because they have to state for apparent, you know, in the people. The judiciary, they cite them. You know, you go to the legislature, come on. So the people of Sierra Leone on need to enough. Enough is enough. Unless for a certain vice president APC cap, they say, hey, if I don't do it, I work. Then on some they say, they get permanent interest, they get permanent. Do you think the Sierra Leone are... Come on.
Well, you know, Desmond, to me, the way I look at them is that the Sam Sumana and I may get problem with, even if pledge support to SLPP, in this election. But how about the people that will stand out there? Some of we buy tickets, we fly from Texas to Washington for go demonstrate more than $300. Other people they fly from all over just for him or for Sierra Leone. Now, how you go? You say you know they pledge allegiance to any,
Let Sumana don't do waiting if it's a best for our party.
Right.
Outside of people see party, we have sympathizers. That have been. All right.
Right.
I am for those Sierra Leonean. Look what the fact that Sam Sumana not promote the support SLPP for change for kick it out, but you the average con. You when they take time on you grown, the small benefits they can get. Now you need for okay, enough is enough. Even though some are not saying when they support SLPP, but say I need for vote for change. When I do town need for be a city where everybody is proud of. Because that are the area that where literally they finance part of the Sumana economy. Mineral resources are very, very strong area that will finance the economy. But if APC government say, hey, but not people that matter, then when I became a vice president, then put them, when I became a top mayor, then put them command, then can't import a mayor, but we go to sleep and ask a fight for her. So this is the kind of fight I am applying. When all Sierra Leone we want to APC the constitution, they don't violate human rights, they don't thief with money, they don't wreck the economy, and it's time for the exit door.
Okay, and so definitely, talking about Kono, we get for talk about Kono again. But I've been want for go back to what Morlu been saying first about Tijan Kaba. I think you've been really make a very serious point there. That the time when Tijan Kaba in power, when a time don't come for let people then go abroad. When it tell the minister, say, provide me a list of people that way they recommend for me then go. That list they can look at it, scrutinize them one by one. It happened to me. Now for family that we don't know, apart from the technology we me learn, apart from the school where I go up to master's degree, the area who say me born, now they make them Sierra Leonean country close. So anybody who is born at that particular village who say me born, no matter which book you learn, you go sabi for make that country close. So I sabi make that country close too much. So time been come under Tijan Kaba regime where all African countries that before meet up na Kaduna, na northern Nigeria, for me them participate in an all African trade and tourism fair. Now they when they go for all African countries, then for now demonstrate waiting when able for do now in our own country. Where when go showcase to other countries then. So people that they go the way then they make clothes, other people then have shoes, other people then have shoes, other people then have motoka. So we all meet up with it. Now before they go that trip, me family don't be know about that trip self. So now Tijan Kaba asks the minister by then will be in the Ministry of Trade. It asks him, it say, give me a list of people that way you want for me then go na Kaduna. Now in this minister provide list. But this list here we provide and so got friend business the woman them where they name they for this list. So Pakaba take that list there, it scratch all the name that it go it say people that we get for going at this meeting, therefore be represented by regions. So me don't come on now, me not be teacher, I don't come on now, are they far away, are they power that thing there? Now in the provincial secretary at that time begin for friend me now the tongue. They say they don't talk about me for say now me that the only person who sabi make country close and we go school up to college level. So therefore now me for go represent Eastern region. That's how I went to Nigeria to represent Sierra Leone in an all African trade and tourism fair. So Mr. Brewa, you are very, very correct. You are very, very correct. Yes. Oh my God. That talk where you talk, it touched me, because that's how I went. I don't ever know about that trip day, but I went there and I represented. So in fact, people that they have been go with sometimes they can watch what they do now. So, but anyway, moving forward, President Nkrumah been there na Kono in 2012 in the campaign to the people of Kono. It make a lot of promises. It talks say Kono na they didn't get for build the University of the East. where be say that university na inside Kono again for this. So anybody where in the Eastern Province where you want to go university, na Kono you dey go. It make promise say get for give money to woman them so that they go able to do business. It get for create employment for the youth them so they go able to get jobs. Anyway, let's watch that video there and see, and then Mr. Brewa will talk about them. Stick around.
A campus or the headquarters of the Eastern University will be placed in Kono. You know, we need to deal with the manifesto. Where they talk now, the manifesto, and now they talk about free. But we, the make sure say, what we talk, we do them. And when they talk about the agenda for prosperity, when they talk about the infrastructure in continuation, the energy in continuation, agriculture in continuation, the healthcare we will continue, but we will lay emphasis on the human resource development. We will lay emphasis on how the economy will get money for himself. We will lay emphasis on how the young man will get more work for himself. How the young man will get work. That's the focus of the agenda for prosperity. That's the commitment we make in Kono. And when we make commitment, we stand by our commitment. Because what you talk, we mean it. And when we talk something, we do it. So we are Kono.
Oh, yes, Mr. Brewa, you know, like, and as by Kroman, I didn't make promises for the agenda for prosperity in 2012. You know, what you get for do for young people them, the university in Kono, the employment for the youth then, building the human capacity. So I want to ask you, Mr. Brewa, you feel say the president achieved all the things and didn't promises then?
And his Kuruma and his APC government had woefully failed the youth of that country, my brother. They don't fail the youth man. No. APC and unless an APC are just full of lies, empty promises, and deceit. That is their trademark. Kono, come here, Kwenadugu. They don't take them for granted. They don't take them for granted. APC take them for granted. For say them will throw with them, they will play with them anyhow they want. Now that make them lie for them. Go make lie promises for them people then they, you know. When you get wet from Kono, you get vice president from Kono, you don't develop Kono that 10 day. Now you go develop a with vice president already, with first lady already again, and you go develop them. You go and lie for the people. Those are just lies, lip service. Lip service for letting them vote for him. That is what he did, my brother. And this time around, the Kono people then will show APC say, he don't deal with them lie for him. I am sure and I pray that they vote overwhelmingly for retired Brigadier Madabio. Madabio is the way out for that country right now. He is the way out for that country at this moment. The APC, they don't default with too much, but they don't do a lot of things there. The reserve with Pakaba left and can and take and they lavish and they publish and pity, you know, the state institutions and they made those institutions, the money that came from those institutions, they make an impact on our property. You know, how mean can you be to your citizens? How wicked can you be to people that entrust, that gave you the mandate to govern them? Akaba was a leader, Anes is a ruler. Those are the two distinct differences between Anes and Akaba. Anes is a ruler. He's despotic. See, I don't destroy APC no more. He believes in deceitful tactics. The way Musa Tarawali talk and the Yolen days as well, divide and rule. And Anes Sabi for do. Nobody do the PMDC. Then it's man to them. If they give them over the money, then we brother them in a PMDC. For let them protect us my time. If they give them money, I know that. Let them protect us my time. They make them visa. After some time, you dump them. That is what he did with the NDC. And if Dr. John Keller said he do is begin support, and the same thing he will do NDC, for this NDC. And again, Dr. John Keller in decision we make way in party make, that's fine. I respect those decisions. But if you ask me personally, I'd rather them for those support. But all the same, it's okay. We will talk to the people. We will talk to the voters. And see, don't let them on self-lead, let them decide whether they vote for. We will talk to them. They're not conscious. If they want to be under the bastardy of APC for the next 5 years, it's up to them. It's up to them. And I know they're not ready to do that. They're not. We have to forge ahead. The country is so small with the amount of mineral resources they will get. Then will they suffer? Don't put in their mind the communities and they do upline. Then they dig holes and left and they, who's kind of thing down? Who's kind of irresponsible government is? Then you want another 5 years. We're not going to do that. The people are tired of you guys. Back up and go. I don't care how sound I go.
Yes, and Ibrahim, following point,
right?
That's what they say. Come on, as a district, they provide so much revenue for Sierra Leone. All the thing for them, go in the go line life and the people. All the thing for they give them faith promise, they deserve them. Because the is contributing significantly, to the revenue of Sierra Leone. So all the thing we need to do is to empower the youth, improve on the infrastructure of country, cannot the need to get a university. That not to take people go promise them. That is what that thing we earn. But the rest are under the leadership of retired Brigadier Desmond Pessima, you guys are going to get your fair share of your risk. They get waiting due. Yeah? Kono is going to be counted as one of the developed cities in Sierra Leone because you are contributing to our revenue. All right?
Right. So Desmond, let we continue on that same line. Where anyway, you said don't begin make promise, so like how Ernest Baikroma be make the promise.
We will follow through.
Okay. Well, anyway, but let's talk about that line. The former Minister of Finance under the SLPP, before then they hand over to APC in 2007, when I been Mr. John Oponjo Benjamin, been get for Toxi, before then they left power, then be left about 5 billion point something billion leones inside the national coffers of the country, which is about I don't know how many dollars is that. Is it about $650,000, something like that? But they left money in the coffers before they come out. But anyway, let's listen to the video of the former Minister of Finance, Mr. John Oponjo Benjamin, where we'll be asking questions pertaining to that, and then we'll go talk about Desmond.
They had failed. Japanese ferry there, they don't pour, they're not they run anymore. We are still paying for them. You see, both they have a road where they make now all road them inside, they don't scrap. So I took my time for explaining, say, apart from the war, these things where they do not be work. And we are still paying for them. And we don't come up from war now. How go develop ourselves if we still have to pay for things where the not of any use to we? So after that, I left. When they do their consultation, they give you 100% debt write-off in that area. 100%, the right of everything. So that is how APC then come in. And during that time, when they actually control UNA in terms of how they manage UNA finances,
right?
That debt money back UNA be they pay, UNA they pay, they be they keep them. They keep in the Bank of Sierra Leone. You see, so that when you reach where they don't write off the debt now, that money the Bank of Sierra Leone, they make it available to you. But you can only use them with the permission of with international partners there. With IMF, you get for write to them, then use special permission, because now they actually get the money.
Right.
Now they actually get the money. So what did they happen? Before you use that, you can forget the permission. So at that time, when the left government back, we had 542 billion leones in the account in Bank of Sierra Leone. That money was there. In fact, the last 6 months of midterm as finance.
All right. Of course, Mr. John Oponjo Benjamin, former Minister of Finance, Sierra Leone, under the SLPP, he say 5.4 billion leones neither be left na the coffers. So we wonder who side that money go, and now we get about 2 to 3 billion leones debt per week again. Before SLPP they left power, they left the country with a zero debt. So Desmond, you being the public relations officer of the SLPP, you know, if you happen for inherit a government, you see that then area they are working talk see anytime when SLPP take power in that country, it meets problems, it solve all the problems. And then when APC take power, it come with problems again. So what you go say to that?
Ibrahim, SLPP now a party we committed to development. Now a party we committed to serving the people of Sierra Leone. We get a strong philosophy here, which means we take care of them, we take care of the youth, we take care of the old, we take care of even people with disability. So our philosophy here is very, very strong. The party take care for themselves. Imagine where Jantaba was elected in 1996. I think the war still there. War still there on. They don't burn houses. Schools on. They allow university, IPAM, all the university, everything, you know, was that. The Jantaba camp is taken from scratch. So directed to work for rebuild with infrastructure. They put all the different projects in place, and that's it. Even the NRA, you know, they put even the security agent, he put all those in place. And in the time when they get you know, then be over. They go, they then Guinea, you know, but because the party leader committed for development to serve people, you know, Sierra Leone be able for and food to end the war, put all the state functions in place, and also we make sure say we establish national. Wherever since the history of Sierra Leone, you know, pension business can be a headache. But as I talk to, you know, and the same way they left office, they left governance in 1987. Nasif was the richest financier in Sierra Leone. But now Nasif on broke. Alright? Nasif on broke. So this they give a clear comparison. Which party and government is serious about economic development and which party and government is unserious about economic development. We don't see. We get all them problems in it. We put institutions in place and stop for the people of Sierra Leone. Now, and it's going to be Ebola today. But that is a whole topic for instance. Because we all know that no government money no go inside. Matter of fact, the money when the React organization them from overseas get away you, they thief back and pay back up. Say to the point that the country broke. Alright? How we there in the so the people of Sierra Leone, they make the judgment for that. Sierra Leone 10 years before, and Sierra Leone 10 years after. Then see kind hole, you don't dig and put it on. But by the grace of God, you know, Sierra Leone, we are resilient, you know, and we are determined for dig with the building and also we contribute again. Again, vote for Desmond Pessima because he is very determined. Like a determined young man, a discipline, and he get courage. He get courage for serving. He serve as a speaker, he serve as a president, and he can serve back diligently. All right. So I want to continue for encourage Sierra Leone. This election, March 26th. Now you don't propaganda. You know, for both truth, for Fala, APC, we don't let this country for 10 years, or for both change. You know, for the betterment of Panelist.
All right, that now Mr. Desmond Pessima, the Public Relations Officer of the Sierra Leone People's Party in North America. Of course, Mr. Morlu Brewa, waiting will be your final word to farm with them.
Well, we farm with them, especially Kono, Kwenadugu, Kambia, Tonko, they don't take away ABC, they take una for granted. They feel say they will play with your emotions, they will play with your life, and come back to una and spend government money for una vote for them. Them money that we see them spend so for una. Now money where they don't take spend for una picking the school kids them. They don't take or spend for water na una towns and una villages them. A hospital. No. Now they take now the spend and we should spend and so they're not going to spend again for the next 5 years. Past election and it one. 2 years before them, follow and think. This is not about their mother bill, not about Roma, not about Dr. Katedon Keller, not about Sam Sumana, not about Musa Tarali. It's about Sierra Leone, it's about the country, about how we forgo, how we forge ahead the next 5, 10, 15 years. We don't need them to also do the thing that we don't do. What do we don't do that? What is a man don't do APC? But that APC behave like 2 years on a vote on our conscience. Then they talk about, look, they can't fool long. They want to pull the airport, they can't go outside. No. Me not go pull the airport now, maybe they have a position. No, I they make that airport day a little bit above minimum international standard that I will make Lunde Town. The third thing way I will do, if I want to bridge, money for do the bridge, well, go the damn Waterloo end. There must be somewhere where the waterway very small as compared to Tagrin to Kisi. You make bridge now. Then you make first class highway for every town. You don't need for move the airport. Why let people then continue for stop and Alumni and Rami and one Kafu are not green for them. APC are not green for them this week. I'm not good for them. If they pull out the airport, they don't done. Lunge don't done. Poloko don't done. If they pull out the airport, I'm not green for them. Kono, they don't develop Kono where they work with assistant and boss lady, where some are vice president, and now they want to develop them. No, they're not good one. Now lie man them. We are not green for them. We are not good for them. Poloko. Kwenadugu. But I don't mix by the nonsense with anybody. They don't like how I say they care whatever they go to place day where the Bobo and Kwenadugu demonstrate. They don't kill 1 or 2 Bobo and they. Let them take leave and send them for retirement. Let them go. They have to go. We don't need them anymore. You know, what can they say? I would don't just that company is so small for the mineral resources that we get. Look, the mining companies them under APC watchers, but corporate social responsibility. Like whatever this or Lonsara area, where they mine on the ground, I think things that we're supposed to do. You get for make with schools then, you get for make with hospitals then, you get so many things that you go do. Don't forget about the tax we pay. When you responsibility down there because you can't achieve them, you dig all day. You pull money there. Some of the things already pull the government they check and just buy with them and ship them out. So don't can't dig all no more. You will see the chairman African Mineral or London Mining or Rutai, they go give APC $200,000 or $50,000 or they put $10,000 in their pocket there. You know, but they already develop in our villages then. We say that they need money they come out. But no, Bukono, una do any more as waiting for the mother to can do for. Una just vote for them. Don't see what you do for.
All right, of course, me family that now Mr. Morlu Brewa, economan, I did talk to una. So, of course, I want for tell una plenty thank you, Mr. Brewa, and of course, Mr. Pessima. Mr. Brewa talked to we today from Maryland, and of course, Mr. Pessima talked to we from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Important guys. One for tell una plenty thank you for everything we una they do. Of course, anytime we need una, we will call una back in for let we talk on some more issues. I want for tell una plenty thank you guys.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much. Yes. All right. And so, my family, that now the two gentlemen that we talked to now. So today, with regards the SLPP and everything where they go on at the country. Of course, this is not Sheriff's Broadcast Network, where we can make it possible for now for able to see some of these discussions. And so, one for let family be reminded for say. We don't try so many times for extend invitation to the APC for many Canada so let we talk on issues, but they have consistently refused. And when they refuse for come, we not going to stop for talk about the issues. We will talk about the issues. Me we sit down and so if somebody they accuse me saying so I don't do and I know say I know do am. Trust me, when you invite me in your network at the candidate they can hammer you. But APC then they run, they not agree for Canada so. If they're ready, make them come. We'll go talk about the issues. But you know, I can see some man then now who side the comment section then I did they go right. Even when we don't open the line for me them calling, let us talk about these issues, they will not call in. So now cowards them. I mean, if you know say you're not a coward, stop commenting now. We'll open the line, call in, and let us talk about these issues. Sierra Leone belongs to all of us. But one thing that we know is that the APC, they're always very uncomfortable when it comes to competition, when it comes to democracy. They believe in that dictatorship, they believe in that autocracy, that one party system who said that they take control of people in life, they don't mess up the country. And when the citizens then say now, we are going to withdraw our contract. We gave you guys a contract. We get for withdraw that contract now. Because we not do waiting will be the expect una for do. So now we get for take that contract from una because politics na a social contract between the one that where they vote and the one that where they vote for. During the time where they campaign to the way they tell and say, what una vote for me now? So how they do for una. Just like when the president meeting up na Kono in 2012, and they promised the Kono people they say it go bring university there, it go make the woman they do business, it go bring jobs for the man them, it go build the human capacity. You ask yourself, you when an APC person where they make noise around. Ask yourself if the president was able to accomplish that in promise day, if he able to fulfill in promise to the people of Kono. Right? Instead, then go after the Kono Pekin, then molest and they disgrace them. But at the end of the day, the Kono Pekin says in foot today na the two do much right now. But anyway, we're not going to focus on that. So my family, I want to stick around as we continue for bring the programs then to una. Of course, stick around with us.
Easy Paris Production
And Mahmoud remix.
Baby, one for dance with me. She dey dance passa. Carry on, baby girl, no carry on. Oh na, no carry on. I like pepper water. I want for Tessa. I want for Fila. I want for drink am tonight. I like pepper water. I want for Tessa. I want for Fila. I want for drink am tonight. I like pepper water. Who be the obo and the damn bogo baga we go say. I not for like pepper water. Gali shape, gali kaka, gali enga that you shape. They crack like a batter. Kululu temper. No worry sampa. I dey here for you. Kululu temper. No worry sampa. I dey here for you. Anytime you sick, I'm the doctor. You movie, I'm the actor. Where you make mistake, director. Now me be the man we go knock you out back up. Any man we test, I go seize them. You pepper water, he go sneeze them. We are eat belly full, I go freeze them. The next day, I go eat her with pizza. The baby want for dance with me. She dey dance passa. Carry on, baby girl, no carry on. Oh na, no carry on. I like pepper water. I want for Tessa. I want for Fila. I want for drink am tonight. I like pepper water. I want for
Yes, I be red, this me broke glory. Yeah, I go spend all the penny. I left self to be empty guy. Me cool me temper. Now you can give me to it, always remember. Yeah, they walk on me mad, walk on me strong, walk on me. Yeah, the way you they gilly me, feeling me. They make every day I they gilly. Oh baby, you get pepper water. We go make her together. Me self I get pepper water. We go do it together. My God, you know it.
The baby want for dance with me. She dey dance passa. Carry on, baby girl, now carry on. Oh na, now carry on. I like pepper water. I want for taste. I want for feel. I want for drink am tonight. I like pepper water. I want for taste. I want for feel. I want for drink am tonight. I like pepper water. Baby, all night long, I go key to you. You self key to me. I know you like pepper water. Come close and drink me water. I go make you feel alright.
You drive me crazy. Come closer, come be my lady. Girl, you too bad, girl, you too hot. They make her holla. Yeah, come wine for me. Baby girl, come dance for me. Let it done, they know you are wine for me. Baby girl, come and shake for me. Yeah.
The baby want for dance with me. She dey dance passa. Carry on, baby girl, now carry on. Oh na, now carry on. I like pepper water. I want for taste. I want for feel. I want for drink am tonight. I like pepper water. I want for taste. I want for feel. I want for drink am tonight. I like pepper water. I bass on the mix. We the wise I see you. But mood enough respect. Easy K.
Yes, of course, myself wants some of that pepper water. That pepper water there one time, you know. Anybody able to give me that pepper water? I want the pepper water. Of course, would I go tell me for Lana one time, right? But anyway, that now Mahmoudé and Easy K from Freetown, Sierra Leone. Of course, Sierra Leoneans are very talented. Me fun with them. All they need now that enabling environment, the leadership will go able for create the environment for them for me to exhibit their talent, right? That's what we are looking for in Sierra Leone. We're not mixed for all but good talk. You know, right now politics not a social contract. When you divide for a position in Sierra Leone, you tell the Sierra Leonean people, they say you go do A, B, C, D, Z. When you kind of power, you're not able to do anything, and the people have right to withdraw their mandate and change you to somebody where they feel say they go able for fulfill the promises the way that they expect. So now that, so whether you talk now from here to Jericho, we do not care about that, you know, because now we could extend invitation to the APC for me then come and let us talk about these issues. If you know say you have done so well, let's talk about them. But I don't get my kind of sheriffs. They like them soft grounded. They don't like any cells that they go there, they scrutinize them. They don't like that. And when I know say me we sit down, so I got plenty of me friends inside APC. Now so they talk physically and work in the broadcast that they watch. You know, we they talk about these things. But anyway, moving forward, the president of Sierra Leone we don't issue an address to the nation about the coming runoff election, and of course we get for bring that address to una now, and then we'll talk about them later on, right? But for now, one for me, stick around.
happening now in Bo Town at the new stadium. The local time exactly 7:30 when the retired brigadier don't begin to talk to the people of Bo.
Because we are now accompanying along this political journey from where I started. We are there with me, we are going to support me, and today we are making proud again. The whole country, the international world, don't get in for say, the next president of the Republic of Sierra Leone is unlike those who have been breathing in and out of Sierra Leone, looking for greener pastures in other places, I, Samura Kamara, have stayed on for the longest period, shaping policy, negotiating with the international community, representing and making the case for a better Sierra Leone.
Right. Of course, me family will put Salon first at all times because that is very, very important. And so at this point, I am going to invite the viewing audience for let's go listen to the speech that was given by the President of Sierra Leone, His Excellency Dr. Ernest Bai Koroma, ahead of the runoff elections. And of course, we will talk about other issues then we pertaining to this runoff after this speech. All right? So my family, stick around.
Hello, compatriots. On March 7th, 2018, you went out in large numbers to elect your new councillors, your new parliamentarians, and your new president. Many of you woke up very early on that day and stood in queues for long hours at polling centers, demonstrating great civility and patience to cast your votes. Many of you, including the elderly, the youth, pregnant women, lactating mothers, and persons with disability, exercised your franchise in a turnout that exceeded 80% in many places. With such determination, many of you showed commitment to the growth of our democracy, and you did so with passion, with conviction, and with a high sense of patriotism. You anticipated a smooth process and a harmonious outcome, but the hitches we experience should not result in despair. As our Constitution prescribes, a runoff is slated for March 27, 2018, which gives all of us a second opportunity to make amends where we have faltered. Sadly, following the announcement of the presidential result, and as we prepare for a second round of this very crucial electoral process, there have been police reports of unfortunate incidents of violence emanating from divisive political rhetoric bordering on tribal and regional differences. From attacks on peaceful students traveling on board a bus to Kono, to violent confrontations between politically motivated groups in Bo City and in Kaningo, Lomli, to an attack on a civil society activist here in Freetown. In Sambaya, Bendugu, Tonkolele district, a political party flag bearer was reportedly stoned. In Potloko, a parliamentary and mayoral candidate also reportedly suffered from politically motivated attacks. In Kailau, reports of politically motivated attacks resulted in arson on properties of perceived opponents. And in Yegeya community in Tonko Limba, Kambia district, attack on students engaged on a peaceful campaign resulted to a loss of life. This is not what we expect at this crucial moment. Having worked so hard, the onus is on every one of us to sustain our hard-earned peace. I therefore unreservedly and unequivocally condemn these disturbing events, and I urge the security forces to investigate and to swiftly deal decisively with anyone responsible for these criminal acts, irrespective of their purported political parties, ethnicity, and region. At the same time, let me entreat all political leaders to tone down the rhetoric and to work towards promoting our national cohesion. In the end, whoever becomes president needs everyone to succeed. Already, parents are anxious about the safety of their kids. Teachers are bothered over the impact of uncertainty on the school calendar. The private sector is concerned about the consequences of insecurity on their businesses, and some members of the public are beginning to lose focus. This must not be the case. And let me assure the general public that in spite of these infractions of breaches of the peace, everything is fully under control. We should all therefore remain calm, peaceful, and law-abiding. My fellow compatriots, without doubt we have come a long way in building our democracy, in consolidating the peace and nurturing a tolerant society. We have held 4 successive elections, and we have acquitted ourselves well. The last 10 years have been the most stable in our country's history. Throughout this period, we have held no political prisoner and no prisoner of conscience. We have not executed anyone. We have respected civil liberties, encouraged a free press, and broadened the civil society space. Our broad-mindedness, our enviable religious tolerance, and our friendly nature characterize our coexistence as much as intermarriages strengthen our nationhood. Ultimately, there are too many things that underscore our unity than those that highlight our differences. Owing to intermarriages, Mendes have become in-laws to Timinis. Konos have nephews among Limbers, so do Fullers have nieces and cousins among Locos, Kurankos, Yalunkas, Kizis, Shabrus, Creoles, and Mandingos and Sosos. We are invariably related one way or the other, or have friends across our various ethnic groups and regions. And we go to the same places of worship. We work in the same public offices and share the same marketplaces. Our children attend the same schools, universities, share the same playgrounds and recreational facilities. Why should we then allow politics to tear down our family ties? By attacking compatriots perceived to be political opponents, you may be hurting your own cousin, nephew, niece, or your brother's or sister's best friend, or your workmate or schoolmate. Political and tribal violence should therefore have no place in our beloved country. Those twin evils do not align with the tolerance we have demonstrated for one another over the last decade. They certainly contradict the accolades we have earned as West Africa's most peaceful nation and Africa's third most peaceful country. Let us therefore leverage on our strength and use our political experience to re-establish our record of a democratic, peaceful, and tolerant nation. During critical moments like this, let us remember that this country has lost too many lives in the past. We have endured too many difficulties, and we have suffered too many reversals. One more life lost will be too many. Any disturbance of the peace is unacceptable, and we simply do not have any more time to waste. Now is the time to move on as a determined and united family towards our national aspiration of becoming a middle-income country. But that is only possible when there is peace, when we accept our differences and celebrate our strengths. At this defining moment, rather than putting the future of our country in peril, we should assert our better values to cement our bonds. To the National Electoral Commission, your constitutional mandate to deliver credible, fair, and acceptable elections is sacrosanct and comes with great responsibility. It is therefore imperative that you put country first over and above all other interests. As you have noticed, the stakes are high, and the unity of our nationhood could not be divorced from your impartiality. To supporters of political parties, it is your democratic right to support whoever you prefer. It is your civic responsibility to campaign and to cast your vote for your preferred candidate. But it is a crime to disturb the peace, to manipulate the electoral process, to give undue advantage to a candidate. Remember, you too have lives. You have a future of your own away from politics. Do not allow anyone to use you to hurt your fellow Sierra Leonean or to disturb the peace. To our international partners, we appreciate your partnership. We acknowledge your support, and we urge you to remain supportive within the established framework. To my fellow compatriots, once more the onus is on everyone to maintain a united and peaceful nation by upholding and protecting lives and property, and by ensuring that no one derails our country's peace. Anyone caught inciting and or perpetrating violence, peddling tribalism and fake speeches, or found in contravention of our laws will bear the full consequences of their action. Once again, remain peaceful, obey the law, and stay out of trouble. Thank you, God bless you, and God bless the Republic of Sierra Leone.
All right, and so me from that now the President of Sierra Leone, His Excellency Dr. Ernest Bai Koroma. Of course, I'll get for clap for him. You know, this speech where the President gave, I look at him in two ways. Okay, I look at him in two ways, and the reason why I look at him in two ways now because of my experiences of this president from 2007 to 2018. All right, so I look at him in two ways. Now, one of the ways where I look at this president is that I don't say it is necessary for him to be presidential. At a critical time in the history of Sierra Leone, at a time when Sierra Leoneans are making critical decisions about their country, that he as president is supposed to be a role model. He is supposed to be the person where they set the record, where they set the pace, where others then they follow. So everything will be done the bottom, where it try for interfere into the electoral process and all of that. These are rumors that will be done the it don't become presidential today, or the day we give this speech here on the 23rd, actually, not yesterday. He became very presidential in articulating himself to what the office of the presidency is supposed to be like. That's what he has done. He don't give a statement on the elections. He don't remind voters that waiting and we go do on the 7th. He don't advise people that for men stay away from violence. He don't do all of that. He don't advise the National Electoral Commission. He don't talk to the international partners. He don't do all of that. We appreciate that, Mr. President. At least this is what the leadership is supposed to be. This is the kind of leadership we were expecting from you. You don't serve this country for 10 years. It is about time for you to get your hands off the politics of Sierra Leone. We don't say the APC constitution a dictatorial constitution wherein the one that way they treated and reached at the top, now then they make decisions where they affect the lives of APC members then forever. So by you even becoming chairman for life, you know, I mean, I talked to an APC member within Dallas, Texas. You know, now a female. Where I tell her, I say, but wait till make una go elect the president as chairman for life. He said, well, over my dead body, he is not chairman for life. I said, but he is. When I don't go through all the processes where APC they go through for making chairman for life, so he is chairman for life. So now make whether they tell some where they, you know, certain decisions the way Dr. Samura Kamara for make, they say make I go consult with the party elders then first. And what are the party elders? The chairman for life, who is the president of the country. So meaning that when Samura Kamara, if he becomes president of the country, Now, honest by Koroma get for the rule in proxy. They rule the country indirectly. And like how one of we guests, one of we panelists then be say, he say the difference between late Alhaji Dr. Ahmad Tijan Kaba and honest by Koroma is that late Alhaji Ahmad Tijan Kaba was a leader. And honest by Koroma is a ruler. You know the difference? Leader, ruler. Leader, they lead the people them. Ruler, they tell you saying that this is for do and I for do. You not for do all that thing. Alright? So just one angle where I see the speech. The other angle where I don't see the speech. Now I make them say na snake sleeping for sleep. For sleep with one eye and the other eye open. Alright? Because then they say I see a picture of the president and the officials of the National Electoral Commission. Right? We see that picture. I don't know, in fact, if I go able to bring that picture there up, for make a show fun with them, for let I just believe what they talk. Because me, I believe in reality. I don't believe in Boku talk. Anything where they talk, I they back them up with good information. You know, reality. Let's just see if I go able to bring that picture of family. When I hold on for me small, make I look for that picture because I get for pull this picture for make I just show now. Let I know what they talk about. Where can I find that picture? Where can I find it? Please, when I be here with me small, because you know we get for set the record straight. We get for make let people that understand waiting they go on. We're not gonna just leave this country here. Anybody they do anything where they want for do fitty fatter. No. We are not going to let that happen. We are going to be part of the process and we'll get for continue for see how the process they go. All right, so let me take a look at this picture right here. Right? This is the president and members of the National Electoral Commission. Then they na a meeting. And as far as I am concerned at this particular time, any meeting where the National Electoral Commission they go pa with anybody, therefore make sure say the other political party, when the Sierra Leone People's Party, therefore be part of that meeting. The Sierra Leone People's Party therefore know what in this meeting they about, right? Therefore know what in the meeting they about. So in this meeting, you see say this, you know, on the far, you know, right hand side, not really far, but two people away from the president on the right. Now the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, when Joseph Fitzgerald Kamara, I sit on the because I man and the way they advise her on the law, you know. So if then they break any law, now they tell her waiting for do. But anyway, let's take a look at another picture. When you take a look at this picture right here, right there on the right hand side, now Mohamed Infa Ali Conte. Next to him, now Miata French, when next to her. Then this now the other two officials of NEC. Now then they say they don't hold this meeting. But waiting also pause me by this meeting here. Now another picture the way I get, where I really like I need to know what this picture is all about. And it is this picture right here. You know, before the president, I see say the chairman of the National Electoral Commission don't open a kind of a map. It feels like a map to me. Now I don't open before him. It try to explain something from the book we hold in hand when I like a data they that book it explain in hand and look at the facial expression on the face of the president. Just look at that expression there and tell me what you think. Right? It like look like say the president worry about something. Some data where the National Electoral Commissioner they show him, he worry about some data. And why should the National Electoral Commissioner even day a meeting like this? Why should the National Electoral Commissioner day a meeting like this? Because the Constitution of Sierra Leone, way now the 1991 Constitution and the Sierra Leone Elections Act don't give the outright mandate to the National Electoral Commission for men to make decisions based on then documents and that they're not for the under the control of anybody anymore. Even the president not for tell them what they for do. The president not for tell Infa Ali Conte what he for do. If for go strictly according to the dictates of the Constitution and the Elections Act and the data where the Electoral Commission they get, right? So this look at that picture. Like what is the president doing with this picture? or inside this picture, what did they do? Like, I need to know that. Why is Infa Ali in this meeting? And why is Julius Maada Bio not in this meeting? Why is, Julius Maada Bio not here? Because in as much as the president is there, then Samura is there. Because Naiham pick Samura. Now they go all over the country, they campaign for him. So therefore, if in that meeting, then Samura is there. But why is Julius Maada Bio not in this meeting? So now then this year, they hold this meeting, we don't know what they talk about. Some people that you talk say this meeting had all an undisclosed location where nobody know who side they hold the meeting. Right? So, Mr. Mohammed Infa Ali Conte, you are protected by the Constitution. You are protected by the Elections Act. You're not under the auspices or the control of the president anymore. Even the president not get power anymore for tamper with this electoral process. Like what you say, they don't go to court. Only the court now ain't able for do something with this electoral process right now. And one thing we want for talk about the court as well, my family. When I for no say the judicial system in Sierra Leone has been compromised. It is politically manipulated. How anybody go get confidence in the judicial system of our country? So if another make way, where police then they go and misbehave, so I can watch them, I can just say, first of all, police, una for remember say, or even all the systems in the country, una for remember say, after the Civil War, when the country's military was compromised, it was polarized that we're not go able to depend on the military anymore. Because some of them turn to rebels, some of them they're not being, they go to war front, they take the people and property. There was no more, the training all they don't go through, they don't left for other one day. When President Ahmad Tijankaba was elected, the first thing he did was to disband that military and create a new army for we. And from where they don't create that army there for we, at least we go say they are doing their job professionally right now. They're not mixed by anything right now. Now, it is not the same for the police. Even though under the SLPP government, President Ahmad Tijankaba began for invite, go cry for the British government for me to help we for can train we police them back. Let them retrain them. So Kit Bidu was sent to Freetown and retrained with police force. But this same police force don't go back into the drains. Policemen then they use their gun, their uniform, and they go and saw people them. Now the provinces, they don't capture one or two, they don't bring them come. We don't see that. Then they come on the net, then they go live for say they don't hear you say one professor, one lecturer, na Eastern Polytechnic na Kenema, get arms and ammunitions inside in house. When the man asks them, where is the warrant for you to come and search my house? They don't get warrant. Wouldn't the leader of this group owner don't come? They don't have a leader. Why? How can I believe that waiting when I talk, when I not get some timber, when I go can deposit inside my house, then when I claim say na inside my house when I come meter. So the police they don't know say the president of the country has the right for make we disband the entire police in that country, the entire police force, and recreate a new police force. Because plenty complain away don't come. How now then they stuff the ballot boxes? How now then they go and vote now then polling centers, they wouldn't come here, then go here. How then they go and intimidate even the National Electoral Commission workers the rights now. So if we are getting all these complaints from people them, when they will rely on for me them protect we, me them provide security for us, but they are doing all of these things. How can we continue to depend on them? So maybe the only solution is to disband the entire police force, let Omar retire, let us create a new one. Invite British again, but then can train them with a whole new set of rules. But anyway, so that was the picture that I cannot understand what this picture is all about. I definitely cannot understand. But anyway, that speech where the president give, we will make one video distribute on social media where all man see that video there. And I know say somebody call me, say the part don't see that video, they will say me, man, the part don't see that video, that they shake and small. Because we say get with intelligence anyway. They say the part don't see that video there. But anyway, make a show now the video we will make. We go around, right? Stick around with us. Sherrick's Web Radio, your #1 African web radio station. Sherrick's Web Radio, proving you with the best African old school music. The National Electoral Commission, the chairman there, Mr. Mohamed Infa Ali Conte, by the interview Oben Giam last week before the election, he talks say it go take about a week for let the presidential results could be announced. So far with the CC, that trend they go rapidly. 1 week yet, not just 4 days after the election. But at least by today, by tomorrow, by Wednesday, we don't know who will win this election. Now, some of we don't they get calls from Sierra Leone. People they tell we say, they don't tell them secretly for me them stay home because they get for announced result. They don't know what's going to be the outcome of this announcement and all of that. But anyway, we get some images as well. We'll get for can share with una, the viewers them, for let una just know waiting they go on. Let we able for know what is happening and how we can potentially get we self prepared. Like you dey inside plane they up. We see the pilot talk say brace for impact. That means not a good word that one day. So we are going to brace for impact. But however, we want for let people that know this. This democracy in Sierra Leone is fragile. And waiting with country don't go through is too much. Even the international community, the one that waiting at the international community, where something happen, would they go cry to them for help, this, that. They don't become fatigue. They don't get this thing where they call donor fatigue. They don't give, they don't tire now. They don't want to give it again. And we country is very small. Waiting we need for do now for let we able for put this election behind we the one that we get for win, may they go to work right away for the country. Let them able for develop with human capacity. Let we become self-sufficient. Let we left this bigger. We get everything in our country. Even that dirty where they show na bomb. Where people that they go pick inside that dirty, where they put fire upon where they burn. That dirty alone, it don't do for like give electricity all over. So if we really know how for use with resources where God don't give we, trust me, we don't need for go no side for beg anybody. So this election is about ego, is about we need for put this behind we let move forward. The National Electoral Commission need for do this job faster. We need for move forward. And anybody way in handy pa kalo pa this election, because of how much the people that don't suffer in that country, because of how much the people are eager for let this country go before, anybody way play kalo pa this election, God get for expose you. Because Sierra Leone is a country of religion. People that they pray, Christians, Muslims, then they pray day in, day out. Because of few people that you in action, or because of the way that they behave, because of the kalo that they play, they don't make with people that they in Sierra Leone their heart hang right now. In fact, Sierra Leoneans all over the world, all man in heart hang. We don't know waiting at the next thing we get for happen. You, when are you they make people that they feel like that? God Almighty get for punish you. I mean, people that know they learn. People that know they learn. Right now, members say, if you own efforts, you own activity, you own behavior make, then shed one blood, now that country day. And for members say those days are gone. Where you they perpetrate violence, you they make people that lost their lives, you they make people that they shed blood, and you go scot-free. 10 days then over. This not 2018. This not to 1967 or 1971 or 1978. No, this is 2018. You, when are you they become a reason for let anybody shed in blood na Sierra Leone? You when are the reason where they perpetrate violence, where they conspire for let people then continue for suffer in that country. We go after you. We get for make sure say you face the full penalty of the law. And I remember we say Charles Taylor the right now. Then 10 and the way Charles Taylor get the upper hand at Liberia and Sierra Leone. When it go over the BBC Focus on Africa, where they talk about the war in those two countries, like say nobody know the way educate Passam. But just remember, Wusai is the right now. It in a prison, a prison in London for 55 years. So you, when we don't in power in that country, you don't squander with money, you don't do all kinds of things. Sierra Leone people, them, we get forgiving heart. We don't want nothing from you. All we need is allow the people's will to be served. If the people that don't talk say, then they withdraw their contract, where they be give you, because politics not a social contract. If the people that don't talk say they are about to withdraw this contract from you because you not do the things that whatever they expect you to do, but then they willfully plan for change their own will because of your own selfish political agenda, would they watch you, will get you in our radar, and you know will go scot-free. That's all we are telling you. So right now, you get the upper hand for do what they do, but trust me, whether they come off or let put you in a ground and tina before and tell you true talk, will they tell you, we don't tire of this. I mean, it is very shameful when you talk to Sierra Leonean and you to people that are abroad. They know all the catastrophes where this country don't go through. And one of them are power when they try for infringe on the natural rights of the people. Now we just the warn you for say we need to put this election behind us. We need to move forward. So today I will message that one day to you. Whosoever day, if they listen to we, this is not the voice of the people. These are some of the comments we are getting into our studio, coming from Sierra Leoneans from all over the world. And we get a moral obligation to pass this message on to you. All right?
After Ensminger's first mistake, when he came to Banga, he was very demanding. They just wanted what's for Firestone to be for Firestone. And after the talks broke off, we insisted that they have to send someone we can work with.
Naturally, Taylor wants everything his way, and Don didn't. He wanted it Firestone's way. So it's probably two guys butting heads.
Firestone sent Ensminger's boss in Akron, John Schremp, to get things back on track.
John Schremp and there was another guy. They came, they met with Taylor, and Taylor said, look, you abandoned your people. What about them? When you come back, what can you do for them? What are you going to give them back pay? What?
Purchase your tracks.
Charles Taylor insisted on a number of conditions. Among them would be that the Firestone would recognize that he had a de facto government, and that if Firestone came back, it would treat his government as the Liberian government and the government that it must deal with.
Besides those demands, Taylor made one more ultimatum. Ensminger had to go.
Did Firestone essentially acquiesce to Taylor's demands?
Yes, absolutely. It was clear that without that, you would not be able to put a management team on the ground.
Soon after, Ensminger was dismissed.
Mr. Taylor, would you please rise for the sentence of the court? Mr. Taylor, for the foregoing reasons, the trial chamber unanimously sentences you to a single term of imprisonment of 50 years for all of the counts on which you've been found guilty. Credit shall be given to you for the period commencing from 29th of March 2006, during which you were detained in custody pending this trial. Thank you. You can be seated, Mr. Taylor.
The sentence that was imposed today does not replace amputated limbs. It does not bring back to life those who were murdered. It does not heal the wounds of those who were victims of sexual violence, and does not remove the permanent emotional and psychological and physical scars of those enslaved or recruited as child soldiers. But a sentence for these crimes does bring some measure of justice for these terrible wrongs.
Purchase your tracks today.
The international.
All right, of course. So we found that not the video we'll make, and of course everybody don't watch them. So this is not just a warning. So they want the way they perpetrate violence in Sierra Leone, where they conspire for let people and shed blood, let violence happen at the country. We want for me, you know, say you day now we radar, we they watch you, and you not go scot free. And just like how we talking at that video, those days are gone where you they do bad, you they conspire for your own selfish political agenda. You they make people and the innocent people that they suffer, innocent people that they die, then they shed blood. Those days are gone. This is not to 1961, 1967, 1975, 1978. This is 2018. All right. So this is not just a clear warning to una. All man they watch una, waiting una they do na the country. But anyway, moving forward, we get for Brinkham a video about the wife of the brigadier, you know, retired Brigadier General Julius Maada Bio in wife, Mrs. Fatima Bio, how it don't take, which level where it don't take the campaign to now. Because she is fired up, it is support a man fully, and I appreciate him. It is talk on issues as well. So let us see what Fatima Bio do in this regard as well. Stick around.
Okay, start mixing.
Yagbade, Maada Bio, Yagbade, Yagbade.
They say Maada Bio say where you come, in the Kampuruna na the market here. When I tell them say Maada Bio na Papa, Maada Bio na sabi drag people them, Maada Bio na develop people them. They Maada Bio na one day talk them day. When they know they nothing for tell you now. They know what tell you now say the respect, they don't plan for that they can go to 400,000. Now they say Maada Bio say they can't pull you now. When Maada pull you now say they can't go. Say they can't go. They say they make it too man, they don't go full day. Do you have a gonna tell them say they make it too man, they say they don't get sense now, yeah? Gonna tell them say they make it too man, they get picking them. They want let them picking them get free education. Try for intimidate we all. But until we know say where problem come, now we the woman that they suffer. So we go for faith and make sure say we vote count. Let nobody no fool with this sign.
Sumana woman. They don't victimize this market because of what we stand for. We don't stand for nothing for just the truth.
When you vote for Bangladesh, you don't accept the better. When I don't know, allow 10 years and no life for we make man another life for we get here. This said, we the win man. Julius Maada Bio and the right man that want to rule this country. He got vision, he focus, and he know exactly what in this country I need because he know they are before. When I go for the right man, and he makes Julius Maada Bio. If you want security in this country, vote retired Brigadier Julius Maada Bio.
Imamina power.
Julius Maada Bio. One country. One people. If you business petrol in price them got done. Now for votes for retired Brigadier Julius Maada Bio. If you want to let the food price them go down, votes for retired Brigadier Julius Maada Bio.
Right, of course, and so me family, and that's now Mrs. Fatima Bio. Of course, I like this lady, but it is support Iman full time. I mean, can you imagine? It day na turn, it get the speaker na I mean the microphone na emotes, it day inside motoka, and this not to today business. And one thing, but she understands the issues. Fatima actually understand the issues them. Now, when you go listen to her, it talk on the issues then. Now that 10 day you go really admire and for say it understand the issues them very well. So Fatima, whatever you do, continue for Duam. You know, some of us are very proud of you. You know, she really understands the issue. And you know, now this I think say plenty of we woman them. Of course, salon woman them, they always support them man them. You know, now this when I suppose for they do, when I continue for do this, you know, so when I support una woman them, I mean when I man them. When would they do some of them things? I don't say some people they're not actually like you know how things can go sometimes. They're not too like where they man and they put on you know certain things them. You know, there is a video I'm looking for where I want for show now where Fatima Bio they talk. But anyway, I cannot find the video right now, so I'm not going for Brian Cantona. But I'll be just one for show now that video where it talk on the issues. You know, where they talk about the issues actually were involved in this election, which are some of the things there and how eloquently they put on, right? So, my family, we'll get for can open the lines now. Of course, in case you want for calling and say something about what we don't broadcast today, we'll get for keep the line open for another 17 minutes. After the 17 minutes, we'll come to the end of the broadcast. All right. So, if you want for call we right now and profile your views, this is the time you can do that. All right? So, family, stick around.
It's not a time for all get together to continue for improved value.
What's it? ABC. One word no way. Sayim Sheriff. To get you a lolly check. Sierra Leoneans, don't pay attention. For better spread your love, we go put some rock camera. ABC. Atolongo. Yeah, ABC. Kawa your saving cherry cocoa comes go with defense. ABC. If you want to say not popular, we know one word. What's no for say not good man, we the votes. If you want to say not full of man, babuya yo. What's no for say it's a me work, we the votes. I, shop and day. I, put and day. I, dock and day. I, even day. Yeah, let's go over. If I get sense, you pick fight him. Nima and Ronaldo together, but it's not clear winning. One step. I wouldn't get this way. I wouldn't get this way. Aklimata kashere, mot lete dura, kakonye shiringa nantane. Anye we shirma bustelo, membura ginesu. Anye we shirma bustelo, membura ginesu. Anye we epate yerun, ebopre epate yine. Epate yerun, don't kalbaye, SLPP don't kalbaye, NGC don't
All right, of course, we don't get a call coming in. Of course, Macmillian Carter is the caller. Yes, Macmillian, go ahead.
Yes, as I continue for the bless you for what you do now this young small corner where you do, let God bless you and let God continue for make you continue for do as small as we expect you.
Thank you.
When I listen and when I read the press releases of the two political parties, them when I C4C and NGC, you know, I just feel discouraged. I feel anyway. I look at two things into the whole issue. I see double standards, and I see high demonstration of dishonesty and integrity. You know, when I talk about a leader, when I say a leader, a great leader models integrity by standards, by what they say, what they will do, and doing what's right, no matter the circumstances.
Right.
So if I could ask a question, are KKY and C4C some Sumana leaders? Anyway, and then the other thing when they talk about integrity, when you look when you look within President Kouma do the people of Kono, you play one clip where I've been watch with all the promises the way he make, enable for fulfill none, and then there comes double standard and integrity. Sumana no able for listen that speech day, enable for even forget about the way they treat them. Look in people them. Enable for look into that speech day, still enable for do nothing and work in the integrity for people them. Anyway, then they come back with double standards.
Right.
I feel so discouraged. But it is okay, you know. I know this time round the people are ready for speaking volume. No matter what in APC do, I'm not saying they try for this now the more time still they continue for go man, unlike the
yeah, now the more time agenda.
The more time agenda continue to go. And the people are ready. And they tell me, brother, and they talk to a lot of people in Atongue, people are ready and determined for blow against this situation where they go on. And people are just wait for certain things them. So let God bless you, my brother, and the double standards and high demonstration of dishonesty and lack of integrity when them two political parties also don't do. We go see them in time memorial. Thank you so much and let God bless you, my brother.
Thank you very much, Mr. Carter. I appreciate it.
Yes.
Black for APC. It's not a time for love all get together and continue for improve value.
What's it? APC. One word no way. Sayim Sherry. To get you a lolly check. Sierra Leoneans, don't pay attention. Public has spread on now we go put some rock camera. APC. Otologo. Yeah, APC. That way you're saying Jerry Coco comes to what's the best. APC. If you want to say not popular, we know one know. What's no for say not good man, we the votes. If you want to say not full of man, babuya yo. What's no for say it's a me work, we the votes. I, shop and day. I, put and day. I, dock and day. I, even day. Yeah, let's go over. If you get sense, you pick fight him. Nima and Ronaldo together, but it's not clear winning. One step. I wouldn't be this way. I wouldn't be this way. Aklimata kashere, motlete dura, kakonye shiringa nantane, anye yawe shirma bustelo, mambura ginesu, anye yawe shirma bustelo, mambura ginesu, anye yawe, epate yeron, ebopne epate nyine, epate yeron, don't kalbaye, SLPP don't kalbaye, NGC don't yebaye, epate yeron, ebopne epate nyine, epate yeron, don't kalbaye. Sierra Leoneans, don't pay attention. Public has spread on now we go put some rock camera. APC, Otologo, yeah APC. That way you're saying Jerry Coco comes to what's the best. APC, if you want to say not popular, we know one know. What's no for say not good man, we the votes. If you want to say not full of passing go for say, it's a me work with the bus. I, shop a day. I, put a day. I, dock a day. I, if a day. Yeah, let's go over. If I get sense, you pick find him. Nima and Ronaldo together, but it's not clear winning. One them.
All right, of course, me family that na APC na their own song that one day. Of course, we get somebody on the line. We want for talk on the issues that we don't broadcast on today. Now, what are they called?
Frances Mathia.
Oh, Frances. Okay, if we're calling from where?
London.
Okay, go ahead if you want to make a comment.
Well, I just concerned about this injunction where they don't do when at the 26th of March, and where they no say election day the 27th. You know, I just visit them on other corrupt APC one bring for distract people then about this election.
Right.
The president they try, you know, one step down. I think he wants to continue for staying at the power as we don't request for let it go extend in time. You know, I just feel say no more. It need for step down and this election need for go on. May they not try for bring any corruption, any distraction for cancel this election.
Right.
Because me personally, I don't trust APC. The election can still go on and they address the issues that we didn't get before.
Right. Well, that's a very good concern, Frances. The only thing we go say about that is that now a violation of the Constitution of Sierra Leone, we talk say when the people that don't vote for whether they want for like be president in that first election, if none of them people that waiting out for presidency not able to get 55%, then go give another 2 weeks for let people then go into a runoff election. Now so we Constitution talk. So and we don't go through that process. We they wait for the 2 weeks where it be say the 27, 9 at the exact end of that 2 weeks. Now people then for votes. Any other thing we then do now in violation of the Constitution of Sierra Leone. And you know that case they would have done, they say the only person now will go able for change that day today now the court. And so do we believe in the court system of Sierra Leone? Because me I not believe in the court system. The judiciary in that country they Hamburg, all now politicians and they control them. So anything we then care go na court, now APC they control them. So now make that court and they go. So we just get for keep with fingers crossed and see what thing will happen. But I appreciate you for calling, Frances. And
thank you.
Continue for the Watch With programs. We appreciate you very much. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yes. And so these are some of the issues then. Now the court, now I get for court this case here. So we understand say the 26th when on Monday, then get for going to court again. So we're going to see what the court is going to say. But meanwhile, I'll continue to listen to music as we wait for maybe make that call day. Stick around.
Waiting the council. Yeah, man. Hold somebody, make you hold 'em. Hold somebody, I beg to make you hold 'em. Judge somebody, body body ya hold 'em. Hold somebody, tell 'em say you like 'em. Hold somebody, make you hold 'em. Hold somebody, I beg to make you hold 'em. Judge somebody, body body ya hold 'em. Hold somebody, tell 'em say you like 'em. Hold 'em, sister. No left, hold 'em, gagak. Hold 'em, yak. Hold 'em, brother. No left, hold 'em. Hold 'em some side. Hold on some side. Hold on some side. Hold on day. I tell yourself, Sammy get mind do. If you am go fast, go it, come on it, go it, come on it. You don't WhatsApp me, I don't WhatsApp you. I don't contact you. Talk na phone, take 2:30. Don't first in the morning, I text back you. You not see me, I not see you. Pass picture, well today you don't see me. So hold me tight, make I hold you tight. You go do chaka down head, shoot on side. Hold somebody, make you hold 'em. Hold somebody, I beg to make you hold 'em. Judge somebody, body body ya hold 'em. Hold somebody, tell 'em say you like 'em. Hold somebody, make you hold am. Hold somebody, I beg you make you hold am. Judge somebody, body body I hold am. Hold somebody, hold am, sister. No left am, hold am, hold am, hold am, brother. No left am, hold am, some side, hold am some side, hold am some side, hold am day, hold am some side, hold am some side. Hold on some side. Hold on day. I tell yourself, Sammy get mind do. If you am go fast, go it, come on it, go it, come on it, come on it. Feel free, make we help we self. I beg not tight game, make we show we self. Yam speak to a respect nef. I go auction me love than you expect self. Hold me, I hold you like husband and wife. As you taste me so past time make we left. As I be angle like chinch, nyak. If you slack and small at the pinch, nyagak mar. Eyak man. Left. Hold somebody. Make you hold am, hold somebody. I beg you make you hold am. Judge somebody, body body I hold am. Hold somebody, tell them say you like am. Hold somebody, make you hold am. Hold somebody, I beg you make you hold am. Judge somebody, body body I hold am. Hold somebody, tell them say you like am. Hold am, sister. No left am, hold am, hold am, brother. No left am, hold am some side, hold am some side. Hold on some side. Hold on day. Waiting the council. Yeah, man. Hold somebody, make you hold am. Hold somebody, I beg you make you hold am. Judge somebody, body body I hold am. Hold somebody, tell them say you like am. Hold somebody, make you hold am. Hold somebody, I beg you make you hold am. Judge somebody, body body I hold am. Hold somebody, tell them say you like am. Hold on, sister. No left am. Hold am, brother. No left am, hold am, some side, hold am some side, hold am some side, hold am day. I tell yourself, Sammy get mind do. If you am go fast, go it, come on it, come on it. You don't WhatsApp me, I don't WhatsApp you. Airtel, Apicel, I don't contact you. Talk na phone, take 2:30. Don't first in the morning, I text back you. You not see me, I not see you. Pass picture, well today you don't see me. So hold me tight, make I hold you tight. You go do chagada head, shoot on side. Hold somebody. Make you hold am, hold somebody. I beg you make you hold am. Judge somebody, body body I hold am. Hold somebody, tell them say you like am. Hold somebody, make you hold am. Hold somebody, I beg you make you hold am. Judge somebody, body body I hold am. Hold somebody, tell them say you like am. Hold on, sister. No left am, hold am, hold am, brother. No left am, hold am some side, hold am some side. Hold on some side. Hold on day. Hold on.
Yeah, you get for hold on some side. My family, of course, that is a big one, of course, from Ahmed. We'll get for listening.
Judge somebody.
Right, of course, ladies and gentlemen, Broadcast Network coming to you live from studio number 8. That is how we're going to end the program for tonight. I want to say a lot of thanks to you out there for all the one that we call this episode today. I want to say a lot of thanks to you for coming in. Of course, Ibrahim Sheriff. So we get from England tonight. We want to say, happy election to Sierra Leone. Remember for buying into intimidation and all that thing that will go on, of course. So if you say people that go to the polls and they go vote for Sierra Leone, not for the individual candidates specifically, but to vote for Sierra Leone as a country. That's what we expect from you.
You don't WhatsApp me, I don't WhatsApp you. The I don't contact you. Talk na phone, ask pass to don't post in the morning and text back you. You not see me, I not see you. Pass picture well today, you don't see me. So hold me tight, make a hold me tight. You do chakada head, shoot on side.
The broadcast for tonight. Of course, the thing I asked Sumana, actually on Monday, not tomorrow, we get a vigil on Monday. We therefore pray for Sierra Leone, we therefore pray for the voters, and we pray for let there be a peaceful election, and the person will go on to choose, or let be the next president of Sierra Leone, let that person be the one we go win. And so on Monday night, starting at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern, 8 o'clock p.m. Central, and of course 6 p.m. Pacific. United States. Don't forget that. I think say 12 midnight in London. Don't forget that vigil also from the country. So we invite you for joining us. And of course on Tuesday election day we're going to cover the entire election. So we expect that you go join us, alright? Once more, Akman. Thank you very much.
Met we help we serve. I beg not tight game, met we show we serve. Yam speak they respect nef. I go auction me love than you expect serve. Hold me I hold you let husband and wife. As you taste me so pass die make we left. As I be angle exchange, if you slack and small at the pin.